Where is your focus really going? That's a question worth asking. At any moment, we have the ability to direct our attention towards something meaningful or something destructive. It's easy to get caught up in negative emotions or frustrations, but ask yourself honestly, where do you spend most of your mental energy? Is it dwelling on the past, living in the present, or constantly projecting into the future? We all operate across all three timelines, but the real question is, where do you live the most? High achievers often focus on the future, chasing goals, outcomes, and visions. But the irony is, all of life's joy, fulfillment, and connection exist in the present. On the other hand, many people spend a significant amount of time in the past, reliving pain, regrets, or failures, things that cannot be changed. When we live in the past, we often fixate on what's missing rather than what's available right now. We begin to obsess over what we can't control, and that creates suffering. There are really two worlds we live in, the external and the internal. While we can influence the external world, we can never fully control it. The only domain we truly have power over is our internal world, our thoughts, focus, beliefs, and emotions. We have the power to choose what we focus on, what meaning we assign to life events, and what actions we take as a result. Once we recognize that we are the meaning makers, we reclaim control over our experience. When we consistently make these three choices, focus, meaning, and action, we begin to feel empowered. Anxiety and overwhelm begin to dissolve, especially when we direct our energy towards serving something greater than ourselves. You cannot give to something beyond yourself and not be enriched by it. If you ever feel a lack of self-worth or confidence, try this. Do something that benefits others. There's no better way to elevate your self-esteem than by contributing meaningfully. Fear and anger, those two powerful emotions, can tear down relationships, careers, and lives. But they cannot coexist with gratitude. You can't feel angry or fearful and truly grateful at the same time. Gratitude is the antidote. It shifts your internal world. Think of someone like Steph Curry. People see him pull up from near half court, take the shot, and turn around before the ball even goes in, because he knows it's going in. And we're all amazed, saying he's the greatest shooter of all time. But what we don't see is the relentless work behind the scenes. 500 shots a day, 7 days a week, for over 15 years. That's over 2 million shots before he ever steps onto the court. His excellence isn't magic. It's earned in private, far from the spotlight. That's why I tell people, you're rewarded in public for what you consistently practice in private. I believe everything in life happens for a reason. There's a higher purpose at play. It's our job to discover that purpose. Life doesn't happen to us. It happens for us. The battles we face, internally and externally, are part of the journey. And if you keep pushing through, you'll eventually conquer those inner dragons. You emerge stronger, wiser, and with a story that's not just theory, it's real. You've lived it, and that gives you credibility, depth, and something worth sharing. But as soon as you rise from one battle, life calls you to another. The journey never ends, but that's what makes it beautiful. People often ask, how can I build self-esteem when I'm always hard on myself? My answer, maybe it's not about self-esteem in the way we think. Being tough on yourself isn't inherently bad, as long as you also celebrate your wins. Too many people tie their self-esteem to past wounds or negative experiences. But what about the good moments? Why don't we remember those as vividly? Real self-esteem isn't handed to you. It's earned, by you, for you. External praise won't give it to you, and criticism can't take it away unless you let it. True self-esteem comes from doing hard things, things that require discipline, effort, and meaning. It's not about telling others, it's what you know to be true about yourself. The more difficult and meaningful the task, especially when it serves others, the more solid your sense of self becomes. That's why I always say, find something you care about more than yourself. When you obsess over something greater than you, your insecurities begin to fade. You stop overanalyzing and just do. Ultimately, the question becomes, what do you really want? What's your definition of an extraordinary life? For one person, it might be raising 3 beautiful kids and living in a cozy home. For another, it's building a billion-dollar empire. Or maybe it's writing poetry that touches lives. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's authentic to you. When you align with what you truly want and pursue it with intention, especially if it also serves others, you tap into a deeper kind of meaning. one that no amount of external validation can give you. And yes, it's okay to be demanding of yourself, but don't let comparisons steal your joy. Everyone's journey is different. We all grow at different rates, pursue different dreams, and face unique challenges. Being strong with yourself is useful, but constantly beating yourself up only lowers your energy, reduces your productivity, and kills your joy. Your impact fades, your enthusiasm dims. That's why self-esteem isn't the goal. It's a byproduct of doing meaningful, challenging things that matter to you and serve a greater purpose. When I started out, I was fueled by anger. I wanted to prove people wrong. That worked for a while, but it doesn't last. That kind of fuel burns out. Then came the need to succeed, driven by a fear of failure. That too runs thin. The real power comes when you stop trying to prove and start serving. That's when the fuel changes from push to pull. Push is when you grind, hustle, force. Pull is when something bigger than you inspires you and pulls you forward effortlessly. You don't need willpower anymore. You have a purpose. And that brings us back to focus. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. It might sound cliche, but it's the truth. We don't experience life itself. We experience the parts of life we focus on. At any moment, there's always something wrong, but there's also something right. The choice is yours. This isn't about blind positivity. It's about intelligent focus. Choosing thoughts and beliefs that serve you and empower you. Discipline your disappointments. Don't let them consume you. Let them shape you. And remember, with just a few conscious shifts in focus, you can change your entire life.